How you doing? This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. And I've been looking at stuff all over the internet, and you could do videos from now to Inauguration Day and not have time to cover everything. But there's one that really bothers me. I haven't seen a single Democrat. Not Obama, not Hillary, not Joe Biden, not Dianne Feinstein, not Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, Elizabeth Warren. The list is endless. And here's Hillary Clinton. I'm going to make a comment here. I'll make a quote, that is. I'm sorry. Let's be clear. Islam isn't our enemy. Hateful rhetoric against Muslims isn't just wrong. It plays in the terrorist hands. Well, Hillary, the Hildebeest, or I call her Shillery because she's a shill for every organization out there that pays her money. She takes their money like a hooker, and they pimp her out, and she sells out America, from uranium to cattle futures to 4 Americans killed in Libya that weren't killed according to Hillary. Well, you got a guy, Sheikh Sekaleshfar, and this guy was seen at the Husseini Islamic Center Mosque outside of Orlando. And what did he say? In 2013, death is the sentence. We know there's nothing to be embarrassed about this. Death is the sentence. We have to have that compassion for people with homosexuals. It's the same out of compassion. Let's get rid of them now. And I got this comment, and I had to laugh because it was so stupid, on my YouTube channel, and I marked it as hate speech and sent it on its way. Lesbians are performing sex openly in front of the prophets. Now, the last I heard, the biblical prophets are all dead. So, which prophets was this guy referring to? And it drove me a little nuts because he didn't elaborate on anything. Could it be Lot? Could it be Ezekiel? Could it be modern day prophets, false prophets like the late Sylvia Brown or John Hogue? Or Gordon Michael Scallion, who I don't consider a false prophet, the only one that got it right on the George Norrie show that he did. So I want to know what prophets that lesbians are having sex in front of. This guy got all bent on his shape about lesbianism. But here's a guy, he's from Iran. They called him a moderate Muslim. There is no such thing as a moderate Muslim when you're a radical Islamist. That's like saying there are moderate Republicans when they consistently vote for Democrats in and out of Congress. And then we got the big loser of the year, Mitt Romney. He constantly attacks Donald Trump. This guy had Obama on the ropes in the first debate. And what did he do? He wimped out and said, I'm suspending my campaign for a while. And he could have won the election, but he wimped out. And, did weird stuff about 47% and everything else. And then he bitches about Trump not providing his tax returns. Well, you know what? Mitt Romney lost. He needs to shut the hell up. And, we have Paul Ryan saying that he would sue Trump if he instituted a ban on Muslims entering this country. Well, first of all, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Speaker, Obama has allowed 850,000 Muslims to enter this country. And you know what? He gave them green cards, which means they can go to work. So if you're an American looking for work and you can't find any, maybe it's because 850,000 of those jobs that Obama supposedly created, when he never created a job in the first place except in the federal government, have taken your jobs. And the FBI has admitted they can't vet anybody. They had a guy who went into a nightclub and killed 49 people. They had him on the radar. But they're not allowed to look in social media. This guy said basically America will pay for its support of lesbianism, for homosexuality, on his Facebook page. And he went and killed people, and the ones that didn't die are lying in the hospital suffering. But the FBI is not allowed to monitor social media because it might be offensive to Islamists. It might be offensive to Muslims. So, you know, and you got a minister in Sacramento, gays should be killed. Why is guys like this allowed to enter the country? This Imam. He speaks from Iran and talks anti-gay speech, but it doesn't matter to me if they're gay or not. He's condoning the killing of Americans. And the parents of this Mateen guy were from Afghanistan. You know what? If you're found to be gay in the country, they have a statute on the books. You can be put to death. We've been spending lives and money over there. American lives, British lives, UN soldiers, others, Canadians. They've died over there, been blown up, they've been shot. Even Afghans have been killed by turncoat Afghan soldiers who were supposedly training. Yeah, we're training them to be Islamist terrorists. That's what we're training them to be. And, you know, they got laws to kill gays. And there's another thing. You got those idiots on Belgab. I go in there occasionally. I don't read very much. It gets my blood pressure up. They're saying I did all these Pulse videos about a shooting in Orlando for an ulterior motive. I had no ulterior motive other than to present a breaking news story and to say we should be compassionate for the victims, be they alive or dead, be they gay, straight, bisexual. It's ridiculous. I didn't ask for donations from me. I said donate to help the families of the mourning and the families that are injured. They'll have thousands of dollars in medical bills. And one bell gabber was so moved by what he said, he gave him $250. I don't expect that many of the hateful bell gabbers, because they're too damn mean-spirited to donate a dime to anybody in pain. But they know how to flap their mouths. But I still am waiting for a Democrat to condemn an Imam that comes to this country and says we should kill gays out of compassion. Why don't they substitute the word gay for Americans? We should just kill Americans, whether they're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transsexual, straight, Christians, Jews, Latinos, Asians. Because, like Mateen, who said, we are the enemy. So Hillary Clinton, it's not that we're going against Islam. We're going against radical Islamists. And the FBI says they can't possibly vet everybody. They can't even vet one guy who had it on radar. Guy who legally went out and got a gun. Legally went out and got an AR-15. And now Biden wants to ban AR-15s and high-capacity magazines. I got news for you, Joe. It's legal to have one. We have a thing called the Second Amendment. And the vast majority of AR-15 owners aren't using them to commit mass murder. They're shooting deer, and they're shooting at targets, and they're using them for self-defense in case some crazed Muslim decides to attack them. I attended temple in San Francisco with my mother since 1965. And originally I didn't see what was happening. But every year now they got armed policemen and armed security at the temple for fear that some crazed maniac from the Middle East will shoot people on our high holy days. That's what we've had to contend with for a better part of maybe 50 years because of the hatred of Israel and the hatred of Jews. But hate is hate. If it's not Jews, they'll find somebody else to pick on. This is why it's so important to not vote for Hillary Clinton and to vote for Donald Trump. They say Donald Trump is full of hate. Where's the hate? He likes gays. He has nothing against Mexicans. He wants illegal aliens to stop entering here. And by the way, another case of Donald Trump is right. This week, a man in Los Angeles who's upset that he or one of his buddies got beat up in an apartment building frequented by the homeless. Well, what did he do? He went and set the building on fire, and 5 Americans died. They were all homeless, men and women. They burned to death. And guess what, folks? This guy was a 5-time arrestee and an illegal alien. He did 10 years in prison. They kicked him across the border and he keeps coming back. He was arrested for domestic violence and other crimes. And now he's up for murder. And on Breitbart today, there's a man who mourns over his son. His son was at a stoplight. An illegal alien walked up and blew his son away 15 years ago. Trump is right. Illegal aliens are killing Americans. They're committing felonies. Not every illegal alien, but enough that we need to say enough. And in Los Angeles, the West LA member of the city council got all bent out of shape when posters were put there that saying hashtag fight back or something like that. Shoot back. That's what it was. Shoot back. And we can't condone violence against violence. Well, you know, Trump keeps saying if somebody in Florida had been concealed carrying a gun, maybe enough people would have pulled their guns out and blown the son of a bitch away in Pulse Bar. And they came out with another gay bar owner said this guy was scouting out another gay bar. He was a stalker of gays. And whether or not he was really gay or not, who knows? I don't care if he was gay. He was stalking gays, and those people were Americans before they were gay. And when if they kill all the gays, then they'll move on to Jews next, or blacks, or anybody that's not a Muslim. I'm not saying every Muslim in this country, but we're letting 500,000 into this country, 500,000 Muslims into this country every year, and not a one of them are being vetted. And they're all coming from countries that have Sharia law, that condone the killing of gays, the killing of Jews, the killing of anybody that doesn't agree with them, and they even kill their own. The Shiites kill the Sunnis kill the Shiites. This has to stop. And it's not going to stop under a Hillary Clinton, and it's not going to stop with a Barack Obama. We need a change in leadership. And it was said that the FBI will probably start vetting these people under a Trump administration. And anybody who thinks that Obama, he said in a speech that he would work the Muslim community to protect you. Well, tell that to the 49 victims in Orlando, Mr. Obama. Were they protected as they lie on a slab in the mortuary? I don't think so. See, Obama lies, Hillary lies, and Americans die. And they blame it on guns or Christians. And the most ridiculous comment I saw this week was that the atmosphere of hate is created because Republicans are fighting transgender bathroom laws. I'm surprised they didn't blame toilets for the killing of gays. And then you had one other comment, equally ridiculous, that some self-proclaimed feminist claimed whites and white, I don't even remember the phrase. It was so stupid. But it was all white culture that caused a little 2-year-old boy to die in Orlando, Florida, at Disney World when alligators dragged him into the lagoon and drowned him. What did that have to do with whites? And she said nobody said anything about a black boy who went into a gorilla cage in Ohio and they shot the gorilla. That's outrageous. Blaming white culture for a little boy dying in front of his parents who were horrified. And where was Disney? Why weren't there any signs saying, hey, there's alligators in here? It said no swimming. The people ignore no swimming signs all the time. But I'll tell you one thing, if I see no swimming and it's hot and I want to cool off, if I see a sign, alligators in the water, I ain't going in there. Nobody in their right mind or left mind would go in there. Maybe I'm wrong about that, because leftists, they might ignore the signs and say that the alligators wouldn't dare bite them because it wouldn't be politically correct for them to bite the poor alligators. And we have to protect the alligators. The alligators have rights. You know, animals all have rights now. They have the right to eat you, I guess. All right, this is the guy from Pittsburgh. I forgot to say it. Happy Father's Day. But I get really incensed of the incredible stupidity out there on the internet. And the incredibly stupid people on Belgab. Oh yeah, another thing. They also say that none of my videos worth anything. I know they've watched every video, almost over 1,000. They'd rather watch the videos of a convicted double child molester. Now, he's also bisexual. He molested a 14-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy. And is he in prison? Yeah, they sent him to prison and let him out. Up to me? Well, why aren't we getting rid of child molesters? We let them out, they go molest again. I guess that'd be considered hate speech, too, in the liberal Hillary Clinton administration, because child molesters have rights, too. They have a right to molest little children. And I'd remind you all of one other thing. They say the Quran and Sharia is written in stone. It cannot be changed because Muhammad wrote the words. Muhammad was also a child molester. He married a 9-year-old girl. And by my definition, that's perversion. But it's acceptable under Islam because it's Muhammad. All right, this is the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great morning. I'll be back later today with another video. Bye-bye.